How prepared is this group?
Yeah, I think as prepared as you can be going into an event like this. I mean, we've been together for 3 months. Normally when you're coming into an event like this, you've probably been together 3 or 4 years. So it's, I mean, there's always room where you can say, oh, we could have had this more time to... But I think you've got to put them excuses aside. This is a great opportunity. The players, have come off the back of a World Cup. They were peaked and ready to go there. And I'm sure they haven't fallen too far off the pace. And I think results in recent times would suggest they're tracking in the right space. It's whether they can keep themselves frustration free and enjoy the tournament. Teams are going to come here, frustrate the hell out of them, defend deep, put numbers behind the ball which will rely on them, being able just to keep a clear head. And I think if they do that, they'll enjoy themselves.
Now Diana is obviously injured. She's left off the roster. How was that decision made? Was there a thought to maybe keep her on and hope that she could come good, or how long did you wait?
Yeah, right to the last minute. I mean, we went right to the wire with Diana. Disappointing. I mean, we had our fingers crossed, and the last fitness test just suggested that it wouldn't be safe, for that player, and there was always that risk that if we risked her here, you might risk her for the Olympic Games when we qualify. So I think Diana understands that, and certainly the medical staff, pushed it as far as we could, but it just wasn't to be, and it's a huge loss for the team. But I think in this tournament we've got enough to get through. We need Diana for the Olympic Games, and that's where our goal's set.
And the women's game, the Olympics are almost, well, at least with the men's game, it's an under-23 tournament, so there's not as much prestige. Whereas the women's Olympics, it's almost exactly like a second World Cup. What, in your mind, are they about the same in level, or which one is higher in prestige?
Hey, I think this. I mean, the prestige of a World Cup, a FIFA World Cup, is massive, but the Olympic tournament's hard. It's a hard tournament. You have less teams there. It's almost like, you get it's condensed, so you get the best of the best there. There's less easy beats in this environment. So with 12 teams, you've got to qualify out your round. There are no real second chances, and you're always guaranteed 2 tough teams in your group. So I think in terms of prestige, the World Cup, but the Olympics gives you this real test.
And you, the way you spoke, you almost have the assumption that Canada's going to be in that semi-finals on the 27th. Aren't going to be any slip-ups. Is that the attitude you told them at the beginning, or the attitude is we have to win the group?
Well, I think it's a reality check. On paper, this team should be in the final. On paper, with a second highest ranked team here, we've got a truly world-class player in Christine Sinclair. So the team should be in the semi-finals. They should get to the final. It's, I guess, avoiding those slip-ups, the banana skins that will be thrown out there by opposition teams. And I think some of them skins are making sure that you don't kill the team for the big game, which is game 4. So you've got to get the balance right. Sometimes we may look a little bit disjointed because we aren't able to put, the right assets out on the pitch in every game. We have to make sure the likes of Christine are managed and rested, so that in game 4 she can peak and perform when it really matters. So I think these 3 games, the players know it's going to be a real squad focus. They have to ready themselves to play a part, and for some players that's frustrating because they want to start every game. But if you're going to grow through the tournament, you've got to take some hits in the early game, and that might be something that adds to frustration of the crowd, that they feel that certain players they wanted to see on the pitch, but we'll do our best to keep them happy as well.
And in all likelihood, I mean, of course something could change where the U.S. has lost to Mexico recently, but in all likelihood it'll be U.S. and Mexico, but still that Mexican team is a challenge. What do you see against them that could potentially be a trip up?
Well, I think the main thing is making sure we are in the best physical condition, mentally, physically fresh to play whoever it is, the States or the Mexicans. I think they've got a harder group. I think Costa Rica is someone we can't count out either. They've been progressing massively on the world stage. But certainly, the US have to play Mexico. I think that'll be a tough and draining game. And for us, I think we can arrive in game 4 in a better state. So whoever it is, Mexico or US, it'll be a tough game. Both teams will have nothing to lose, so they'll be throwing everything at each other. and it'll be, I think, again, the team that it was ready to play that game. We started 11 days ago focusing tactically on Mexico, Costa Rica and USA being our 3 target games, and starting to get a better feel of the key mantra in this team is we'll know more than you when we head out on the pitch. So the players have worked hard off the field to try and get a better tactical appreciation of their opposition.
Thank you.